Three tough guys were sitting in a biker's bar. An old man stumbles into the bar, clearly very drunk. He sits down at the bar and orders a drink. The man looked around and saw the three men sitting at the corner table. He got up and staggered to their table, leaning over, looking the biggest, baddest guy in the face, and says, "Hey, you! I went by your grandma's house, and I saw her in the hallway, buck naked. Damn, she's fine." The biker stares at the old man without saying anything. His biker buddies were confused, as he was a badass, and normally would have started a fight at a drop of a hat. The drunk man leaned in on the table again, staring at the badass biker. "I got it on with your grandma. We got it on real good. She's the best I ever had," he says. The biker still said nothing. Now his buddies were starting to get mad. The drunk leaned on the table again and said, "Let me tell you something else, boy. Your grandma loved it." Finally, the biker stood up, took the drunk by the shoulder, and said, "God damn it, Grandpa, you're drunk. Go home." Two older ladies were sitting outside their nursing home on a bench having their regular smoke when it suddenly started to pour down rain. One of the old ladies pulled out a condom, cut off the top of it, and put it over her cigarette, and continued smoking. The other old lady asked, "What's that for?" Second lady, "A condom? This way my cigarette doesn't get wet in the rain." "Where did you get it?" the other lady asked. "You can buy them at any drugstore," she replied. The next day, the first old lady hobbles herself into the nearby drugstore and says to the pharmacist that she wants a box of condoms. The guy behind the counter, obviously embarrassed, looks at her strangely. She is, after all, over 80 years old, but very carefully asks what brand of condoms she would like. "It doesn't matter, son, as long as it fits a camel." A gentleman visits a pet shop and purchases a talking parrot. Excited, he brings the parrot home with the intention of teaching it a few phrases. However, instead of learning, the parrot responds by swearing at him persistently. After enduring this for a few hours, the man reaches his limit and decides to impart a lesson by placing the parrot in the freezer. For a brief moment, the man hears the parrot squawking and kicking inside, but soon, all falls silent. Opening the freezer, the man is surprised as the parrot calmly steps out onto his outstretched arm and utters, "I believe I may have offended you with my impolite language and behavior. I will strive to be nicer." The man is shocked. Just as he is about to ask about the sudden change, the parrot continues, "Can I ask what the turkey did?" Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson goes on a camping trip. After a satisfying dinner and a bottle of wine, they call it a night and drift off to sleep. In the middle of the night, Holmes wakes up and nudges his loyal friend. "Watson, look up at the sky and tell me what you see." "I see millions and millions of stars, Holmes," replies Watson. "And what do you deduct from that?" Watson thinks for a moment. "Astronomically, it tells me there are millions of galaxies and potentially billions of planets. Astrologically, I notice that Saturn is in Leo. Horologically, I deduce that the time is approximately 3:15. Meteorologically, I suspect we'll have a beautiful day tomorrow. Theologically, I see that God is all-powerful, and we are a small and insignificant part of the universe. What does it tell you, Holmes?" Holmes is silent for a moment. "Watson, you idiot!" he yells. "Someone has stolen our tent." Three nuns standing at the gates of heaven where Peter awaits. He greets them and says, "Each of you must answer a question correct before I let you into heaven." The nuns agree. Peter asks the first nun, "Can you let me know the name of the first man on earth?" "Oh, certainly. His name was Adam." "Correct," he said, and the gates opened for the first nun. Peter then asks the second nun, "What was the name of the first woman on earth?" Without hesitation, the second nun replies, "Oh, that's an easy one. It's Eve." "Correct," Peter said, and the pearly gates opened for her as well. To the third and last nun, Peter said, "Since you are a more senior nun, I expect you to be more knowledgeable. Tell me, what was the first thing Eve said to Adam?" "Oh, that's a hard one," she replies, and the gates swung open. A man and his girlfriend died in a car accident. Arriving in heaven at the pearly gates, they were greeted by Peter. Extending a warm welcome, Peter asks, "Welcome to heaven. Any questions on your minds?" The man asks, "During our earthly lives, my girlfriend and I never had the chance to marry. Is it possible for us to get married in heaven?" Peter considers the question, promising to return with an answer. After around 6 weeks, Peter returns, announcing, "I've got your answer. Yes, you can indeed get married in heaven. Enter and enjoy eternity together." However, the couple poses another question, expressing uncertainty about the thought of their relationship lasting throughout eternity. They ask, "In case things don't work out, is it possible to get a divorce in heaven?" Peter responds, annoyed, "God damn it! It took me 6 weeks to find a priest up here. Can you imagine how much longer it would take to find a lawyer?" A man absolutely hated his wife's cat and decided to get rid of him one day by driving him 20 blocks from his home and leaving him at the park. As he was getting home, he saw the cat was walking up the driveway. "How the hell did he get back here?" the man said. The following day, he decided to drive the cat 40 blocks away. He put the beast out and headed home. "He'll never find his way back this far," he thought. Driving back up his driveway, once again, there was the cat. He kept taking the cat further and further, and the cat would always beat him home. At last, he decided to drive a few miles away, turn right, then left, past the bridge, then right again and another right until he reached what he thought was a safe distance from his home and left the cat there. Hours later, the man calls home to his wife. "Honey, is the cat there?" "Yes," the wife answers. "Why do you ask?" Frustrated, the man answered, "Put that son of a bitch on the phone. I'm lost and need directions." A married couple had a tradition to attend the state fair every year, and every year, the man said he wanted to take a ride in the airplane, but his wife would always reply, "I understand, but that ride costs $50, and $50 is $50. On one occasion, the man, now at the age of 85, turned to his wife and said, "Honey, considering my age, this might be my last opportunity to experience that airplane ride." As every year, she said, the cost remains $50 and $50 is $50. This time, the pilot overheard them and offered a deal. He proposed taking them both on a ride without charge, on the condition that they remained silent throughout the ride. However, if they uttered a single word, the $50 fee would apply. They agreed to the terms, and they ascended into the sky. The pilot executed a series of daring maneuvers, attempting to get a response from them, but without luck. Despite the twists, rolls, and dives, they remained silent. Upon landing, the pilot expressed his amazement, saying, "I tried everything to make you speak, but you stayed quiet." The man humorously responded, "Well, I was about to say something when my wife fell out, but $50 is $50. A lady decided to make her face look younger for her birthday. She paid $5,000 for a facelift and was happy with how she looked. On her way home, she went into a store to check out dresses. When leaving, she asked the person working there, "Can you guess how old I am?" He said, "Around 35. The lady was glad and told him, "I'm actually 47. Later, at McDonald's, she asked the person taking her order the same question. He thought she looked about 29. Feeling happy, she said, "I'm really 47. While waiting for the bus, she asked an old man the same thing. He joked, "I'm 85 and my eyes aren't great now, but when I was young, there was a trick to guessing a woman's age." She said, "And how did you do that?" "If I put my hand up your skirt, I will be able to tell your exact age," he said. The woman thought about it, as it was a weird thing to let him do, but she thought, what the hell, and let the old man check her age. He felt around under her skirt and then said, "You're 47. "Wow, how did you do that?" she surprisingly responded. The old man, with a smirk on his face, said, "I was behind you in line at McDonald's." While playing golf on a new course, a man loses track of which hole he's on. He asks a woman playing ahead for help. She tells him she's on the 7th hole, so he must be on the 6th. He thanks her and keeps playing. Later, he gets confused again on the back 9 and asks for help once more. This time, she says she's on the 14th and he's on the 13th. Grateful, he finishes his game. At the clubhouse, he sees the woman again and offers to buy her a drink to thank her. They talk, and he asks about her job. She's hesitant, but then says, "I'm in sales." "Me too," he responds, surprised. He then asks what she sells. At first, she's reluctant, thinking he'll laugh. "I promise you I won't laugh," the man said. After assuring her he won't laugh, she confesses, "I sell tampons." The man bursts into laughter, and she says, "I told you so." Catching his breath, he explains, No, I'm not laughing about that. I sell toilet paper, so I'm still one hole behind you."